Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast Everyday English Learning. My name is Lily, and I'm really happy to have you here with us today.
And I'm Jake. It's great to meet you all. Whether you're listening on your way to work, while cooking, or just relaxing at home, we're glad you chose to spend this time with us.
This podcast was created for one simple reason: to help you learn English in a way that feels natural, practical, and enjoyable. We believe that language is not just about grammar rules or long vocabulary lists. It's about connection, confidence, and real communication.
Exactly. In everyday English learning, we focus on real-life situations, the kind of moments you might face every day. Through conversations, examples, and guided practice, we want to help you feel more comfortable using English in your own life.
So let's talk about today's topic. Today, we're going to explore something that almost everyone experiences at some point: starting a conversation with a stranger. It might sound simple, but for many people, this can be surprisingly challenging, especially in a second language.
That's right. Maybe you want to talk to a new colleague at work, start a conversation with someone at a cafe, or introduce yourself in a new class. You might know the words, but you're not sure how to begin, or you worry about sounding awkward.
In this episode, we'll walk you through that experience step by step. We'll share a realistic situation, introduce useful vocabulary and phrases, and then practice them together through dialogue. Our goal is to help you not only understand English, but also feel confident using it.
And don't worry, you don't need to be perfect. Making mistakes is part of learning. What matters is that you keep trying and keep speaking.
By the end of this episode, we hope you'll feel more prepared and less nervous about starting conversations in English. Think of this podcast as a safe space to practice, listen, and grow.
So take a deep breath, relax, and get ready to learn with us.
Let's begin our journey today.
Let's imagine a situation that many of you may find familiar. You've just joined a new workplace, or maybe a short training course in another country. On the first day, you walk into a room where people are already talking in small groups.
You recognize a few words here and there, but most of the conversations feel fast and a little intimidating. You want to join in, but you're not sure how. Your heart beats a bit faster, and your mind starts asking questions.
What should I say first? Is it okay to interrupt? What if I don't understand their answer?
Now, picture yourself standing next to someone you've never met before. They look friendly, but they're also busy checking their phone or sipping their coffee. This is the exact moment when many English learners freeze.
And that's completely normal. Starting a conversation with a stranger is already difficult in your native language. Doing it in English can feel twice as hard.
In this episode, we want you to place yourself in this situation. Imagine the sounds around you, the quiet background noise, and the slightly uncomfortable silence between you and the other person.
You might think, if I don't say something now, I'll miss the chance. At the same time, you might worry about saying the wrong thing or being misunderstood.
But here's the important part. Most people are not judging your English as harshly as you think. In real life, many people appreciate the effort you make to communicate, even if your sentences are not perfect.
So as you listen, we want you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to speak but didn't?
Maybe you were in a classroom, a meeting, a party, or even while traveling. Think about how you felt in that moment. Nervous, excited, or maybe both.
This setting will guide everything we do in the next parts of the episode. The vocabulary, the phrases, and the dialogues will all connect back to this simple but powerful situation.
As you listen, don't just hear the words. Imagine yourself using them. Imagine the other person smiling, responding, and the conversation slowly becoming more comfortable.
Learning English is not only about learning new words, it's about building the courage to use them when the moment arrives.
So stay with us, and in the next part, we'll begin introducing the key vocabulary and phrases that can help you confidently start a conversation with a stranger. Now that we have the situation in mind, let's move on to something very important: the words and phrases you can actually use in that moment. Don't worry, we'll go step by step.
We'll start with simple, natural expressions that native speakers often use when beginning a conversation. These phrases are polite, friendly, and easy to remember.
Let's begin with one of the most common conversation starters. Hi, is this seat taken? This sentence is extremely useful in places like cafes, waiting rooms, or classrooms.
Notice how polite it sounds. You're not forcing a conversation, you're simply asking a question. Now try repeating it out loud. Hi, is this seat taken? Great. Another very common phrase is, Hi, I don't think we've met before. This sentence is perfect in work or social situations.
It sounds natural and friendly, and it gives the other person a clear signal that you're open to talking. Let's say it together. Hi, I don't think we've met before. Next, let's look at a simple follow-up phrase. My name is... For example, my name is Lily. This may seem basic, but it's an essential part of starting a conversation.
Now you try. My name is... Say your own name after that. Good. Now let's add one more useful expression. Nice to meet you. This phrase is polite and very common after introductions.
Repeat after me. Nice to meet you. So far, we've learned a short but powerful sequence: greeting, introduction, and politeness. These small steps already create a natural flow.
Now let's expand a little. After introducing yourself, it's helpful to ask a simple question to keep the conversation going.
Here's a very useful one. What do you do? This question is common in professional or social settings.
Be careful with your pronunciation here. It's not what do you do very slowly, but more like what do you do and natural speech. But for now, it's perfectly okay to say it clearly.
Repeat with us. What do you do? Another safe and friendly question is, are you new here too? This works very well in classes, offices, or events.
Let's practice that one. Are you new here too? Now, let's introduce a few helpful vocabulary words related to feelings because emotions play a big role in conversations.
The first word is nervous. When you feel nervous, your body feels tense and your mind may feel busy. For example, I feel nervous when I speak English.
Repeat. Nervous. Another useful word is comfortable. When you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed and confident.
For example, I feel more comfortable speaking English now. Repeat the word, comfortable. Let's add one more word, confident. Confidence means believing in your ability, even if you're not perfect.
Repeat after me. Confident. Now, let's put some of these words into short, natural sentences you might actually use.
For example, I'm a little nervous, but I'm happy to meet you. This sentence is honest and friendly. Try saying it or just listen carefully if you're not ready to speak yet. I'm a little nervous, but I'm happy to meet you.
Remember, you don't need to use all of these words at once. Even one simple sentence can open the door to a real conversation.
Take a moment to think about which phrase feels easiest for you. That's the one you can start practicing first.
In the next part, we'll put all of this vocabulary into action through a full dialogue. You'll hear how these phrases sound in a real conversation, and you'll get a chance to practice along with us.
Stay with us and get ready to speak.
Now it's time to bring everything together. In this part, we'll act out a full conversation based on the situation we described earlier.
As you listen, imagine yourself in this moment.
Don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Focus on the flow of the conversation and how the speakers respond to each other naturally.
First, just listen. After that, we'll guide you to practice along. Hi, is this seat taken?
Oh, no, not at all. Please go ahead.
Thanks. I don't think we've met before. My name is Lily.
Nice to meet you, Lily. I'm Jake.
Nice to meet you too. Are you new here?
Yes, I am. I just started this week, actually. Everything still feels a bit new.
I know exactly how that feels. I started last week and I was pretty nervous at first.
Really? That's good to hear. I mean, not that you were nervous, but that I'm not the only one.
Of course not. Starting something new can be stressful, especially in a new environment.
So, what do you do here?
I work in the marketing department. How about you?
I'm in IT. I mostly work with systems and data, so I'm not always great at small talk.
That's okay. Small talk can be challenging for a lot of people.
Yeah, but talking with you feels pretty comfortable.
I'm glad to hear that.
Now, let's pause here for a moment. Did you notice how the conversation started very simply?
There was no complicated grammar, just short and polite sentences. That's the key.
Now we'll go through the dialogue again, but this time we'd like you to participate.
If you can, repeat after Lily's lines. If speaking out loud feels uncomfortable, you can repeat silently in your head. Hi, is this seat taken?
Oh, no, not at all. Please go ahead.
Thanks. I don't think we've met before. My name is Lily.
Nice to meet you, Lily. I'm Jake.
Nice to meet you too. Are you new here?
Yes, I am. I just started this week.
I know exactly how that feels. I started last week and I was pretty nervous at first.
So, what do you do here?
I work in the marketing department. How about you?
I'm in IT.
Great job. Even if you only repeated one or two sentences, that's already progress.
Now, let's practice with a small variation. This helps you become more flexible in real conversations.
Imagine the other person asks you, "What do you do?"
You could answer in different ways. For example, I work in sales. I'm a student. I'm currently looking for a job.
Choose one answer and try saying it now.
Excellent. Now imagine the other person says, "Are you new here?"
You can respond with, "Yes, I just started," or "No, I've been here for a while."
Try one of these responses.
The goal is not to memorize a script, but to feel comfortable responding in different ways.
Real conversations are unpredictable, but with practice, you'll feel more confident handling them.
In the next part, we'll talk about how you can use these phrases in your real life outside of this podcast.
Think about where you might use English next, at work, in class, while traveling.
Stay with us. We're almost there. Now that we've practiced the dialogue, let's talk about how these words and phrases fit into real life. Learning English becomes much more meaningful when you can see how it connects to your everyday experiences.
Starting a conversation with a stranger doesn't only happen in offices or classrooms. It can happen almost anywhere.
For example, imagine you're traveling in another country. You're sitting in a café, and the person next to you looks friendly. A simple question like, "Is this seat taken?" can open the door to a pleasant conversation.
Or maybe you're attending a workshop or an event. Everyone is new, and everyone feels a bit unsure. Asking, "Are you new here too?" immediately creates a sense of connection.
In these moments, the vocabulary we practiced becomes more than just words. They become tools that help you feel less alone.
It's also important to remember that feeling nervous is completely normal. Even fluent speakers sometimes feel nervous when meeting new people.
Instead of trying to hide that feeling, you can gently express it. Saying something like, "I'm a little nervous, but I'm happy to be here," can actually make the conversation feel more human.
People often respond positively to honesty. They may smile, share their own feelings, or slow down their speech to help you understand.
Another important part of real-life communication is listening. Starting a conversation is only the first step.
When the other person speaks, try to focus on the main idea, not every single word. It's okay to ask them to repeat or clarify.
For example, you can say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Or, "I'm still learning English." These phrases show effort, not weakness.
Think about your own life for a moment. Where do you feel most nervous speaking English?
Is it at work, in social situations, or when talking to strangers? Acknowledge that feeling without judging yourself.
Then ask yourself a simple question. What is one small situation where I can try using English this week?
It doesn't have to be a big conversation. It could be greeting a colleague, introducing yourself to a classmate, or asking a simple question.
Every small step builds confidence. Over time, those small steps turn into real progress.
We encourage you to notice how you feel after each interaction. Even if the conversation is short, recognize the effort you made.
Language learning is a journey. There will be moments of discomfort, but there will also be moments of pride.
And remember, you're not alone. Everyone listening to this podcast is on a similar path.
In the next part, we'll review what we've learned today and help you remember the key points.
Stay with us for the recap.
Before we finish today's episode, let's take a moment to look back at what we've covered. Reviewing is an important step in making sure what you learned stays with you.
We started by talking about a very common but often challenging situation, starting a conversation with someone you don't know.
We explored how that moment can feel uncomfortable, especially when you're using a second language.
Then we introduced simple and practical phrases you can use to begin a conversation politely and naturally.
Some of the key phrases included, "Hi, is this seat taken?" "I don't think we've met before." "My name is," and "Nice to meet you."
We also practiced follow-up questions that help keep the conversation going, such as, "What do you do?" and "Are you new here?"
In addition, we talked about important feeling-related words like nervous, comfortable, and confident.
These words help you express how you feel and understand your own emotional experience while speaking English.
After that, we moved into a full dialogue where you heard how these phrases sound in a real conversation.
You also had the chance to repeat, respond, and imagine yourself in that situation.
We then discussed how all of this applies to real life, from workplaces and classrooms to cafes and social events.
The main idea we want you to remember is this: you don't need perfect English to start a conversation.
Simple words said with sincerity are often more effective than complex sentences.
Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from being willing to try.
We encourage you to choose one or two phrases from today's episode and practice them this week.
Say them out loud, use them in your thoughts, or try them in a real conversation when you feel ready.
Every time you practice, you're building a stronger connection with the language.
And most importantly, be kind to yourself during this process.
In the final part, we'll say goodbye and share what's coming next.
Stay with us for just a little longer. As we come to the end of today's episode, we want to thank you for spending this time with us. Learning a language takes patience, and the fact that you're here listening shows your commitment.
We know that speaking English can sometimes feel intimidating, but every word you practice and every sentence you try brings you one step closer to your goal.
Today, you explored how to start a conversation with a stranger using simple and natural English. This is a small skill, but it can make a big difference in your daily life.
Remember, real communication is not about being perfect. It's about being present and willing to connect.
If today's episode helped you even a little, we hope you'll carry that feeling with you into your next conversation.
Try to notice your progress, no matter how small it seems. Confidence grows slowly, but it grows steadily.
In our next episodes of Everyday English Learning, we'll continue to explore everyday situations, introduce useful vocabulary, and practice real conversations together.
We'll talk about topics like expressing opinions, handling misunderstandings, and communicating more naturally in English.
So make sure to join us again next time.
Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Thank you for being part of our learning community.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye for now.